Hi, welcome back. Okay, so this module we're going to talk about how to incorporate all the Reiki symbols into your work with others. So by now you have received initiations into all 4 of the Reiki symbols. You've received the power symbol, the chakra, the mental clearing symbol, the Seiheki. You've been definitely working with that distance healing symbol, and you've received the master symbol, the Daikumyo. So how do we now incorporate this into our practice? Well, you've also been working, hopefully, by using the chakra, the Reiki Sutta, the Seiheki on yourself. Remember that you can also use the Seiheki in so many other ways, such as when you're in conversation with somebody, you can visualize the Seiheki between you and that person. I do that pretty frequently in my consult work with other people. So now here we are. We have our lovely model on the table, and we're going to be practicing. We're going to open up a Reiki practice with this person. So by now you've grounded them, and now you're at the crown of the head. So one thing that I like to do is just before placing hands at the crown of the head, I like to send them the Reiki symbols. And so what I like to do is I'll use the master symbol, the Daikumyo. And again, you're just drawing these just a few inches from the crown of the head, and you're being very discreet. So you're not waving your hands around in these grand gestures. You're simply just using your fingertips to very gently draw each of the Reiki symbols. So that's the Daikumyo, 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 and you're just kind of saying this very silently to yourself. And then I'll draw the chakra, 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 and I'll draw the Seiheki, 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 and then I'll draw the chakra, chakra, chakra again, just to kind of complete that sequence, and then I put my hands on the crown of their head. Okay, so that's really a nice thing to do to open up the practice, open up their crown to really receive the Reiki energy. We're never, very, very seldom are we using the distance healing symbol in this sequence or in our work with others in person. It's really primarily used in the Reiki light activations, which I'll show you in the next module, or when we're using a distance healing practice. Very rarely have I used the distance healing, only when I'm trying to clear some deeply, deeply lodged trauma. Then I may go into using the distance healing practice in person, but it's very, very rare. And so after we do the symbols at the crown of the head, and you're ready to move on through the rest of your practice, you can just kind of tune in. So oftentimes if I'm working at their forehead and the upper chakras, so anything from the heart chakra upward, is really nice to use the Seiheki symbol. So for instance, if I'm placing my hand at their forehead and say placing my hand at their heart chakra, then I can visualize the Seiheki in violet light. Remember, anytime that you're visualizing the symbols, you're visualizing them in the Reiki light, the vibration, the violet light. So I can simply just visualize the Seiheki at the chakras, or before I place my hands on their head, I can draw the Seiheki, again, very discreetly, just as I did at the crown, and then lightly place my hands. Same thing here, and it doesn't really matter. I always like to use my dominant hand when I'm drawing the symbols, but it's not necessary. So you can just kind of settle into that. And again, you can use the chakra in any part of the body, but the Seihei tends to be reserved for the upper chakras. Okay, and then as you're moving down, so say now we're here at the solar plexus and the belly. So here, if I wanted to use the chokore, and this is at your discretion, it's not necessary. But if you feel like, gosh, there's a really sticky place here, or I feel I've been here for a while and I don't feel the energy moving the way that I'd like for it to move, then you can visualize the chokore or simply draw it with your hand and place your hands back down, okay? Again, we're never hovering over the pelvis. We're never hovering over the throat. So if you'd like to visualize the Seihei or chokore over their chakras, or while you're holding them from beneath and visualizing those symbols there, you can absolutely do that. And then just kind of moving down here, the knees, and then here are the feet. So typically when I'm working and using the symbols, I'll use the symbol sequence at the crown of the head, selectively use the Seihei for the upper chakras. I can use the chokore wherever I want, and by either visualizing that symbol in purple Reiki light or very discreetly drawing it over their chakra center. So that is a way that you can incorporate these symbols into your practice and make your practice so much more effective and powerful with others.